From the shadow depths of a broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside. Internal organs liquefied. Death God's gift, a twisted fate. No escape from me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Run the rod, run the rod. Walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies twist. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale eyes stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and bloom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. Then no comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it settle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is that last line. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking box now takes its bite. The walking box now takes its bite. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking box now takes its bite. The walking box now takes its bite. Through the skies we come to claim our prize. A world infected before your eyes. We are the rod, we are the end. The Death God's mercy is death again. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite.
And hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. Hopefully my volume has been all okay again. And yeah, welcome everyone to obviously another episode of The Plague Surgery. So for those who maybe are new here, hello, welcome. Today's episode live stream, we actually go through our members' submitted lists on our Discord. And basically, we review them, we give advice and feedback on things we think are good and whatnot. It's just me today. Dave's currently busy, and Will is at a tournament tomorrow on an RTT. So look forward to tomorrow because they might have a little bit of a recap for you in the evening as well. But yeah, for now, hello and welcome in the chat. So how's everyone doing? We've got Nurgle Matthew, Sunmon, Ben Hayden, Obstrafax, Shay, Chris Harkman, Bmob, Raziel Master, and Tell. Hello everybody in the chat. So yeah, Anything that's coming up at the moment before we get into this? Not particularly too sure. I've got an event in, not next weekend, the one after, which I'm very excited to be taking Pure Death Guard to, which is, going to be a bit of a challenge in itself. Debating the Playbus crawls, which someone has checked, already mentioned in chat with Ben. I'm actually kind of not too bad on the PBCs right now, but we'll see how that goes. We shall see. But yeah, it's good to have everyone here, and praise Carl for he has brought us into a stream of disgustingness. Praise Carl indeed. The songs are, so people who are interested in the songs are currently on our Discord for our members and on a music tab. So our members have access to free download them, whatever they want. But right now they're not up anywhere else. We don't really want to put them on the channel because the main thing is we don't want the channel to be mainly visited for music rather than like tactics videos. The worry is obviously that they make a lot more viewership because people return view for those kind of things. But for now, it's just members, and obviously at the start and end of every stream, we obviously play a little bit of music as well. But I'm glad you guys like them. That's really nice. Oh yeah, Parafox and making a good point there. Also enjoy the walk with your dog, mate. If you do enjoy the content, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. They do really help out more than you actually think. And it just lets YouTube know that you like what you're seeing, and that means, YouTube says, hey, we'll promote these guys' stuff because they seem to be doing an alright job. So that's quite nice. I have no idea I have the headset on. Like, no one is talking to me, so I'm just going to, remove that and stop. Because last time that happened, I got double mic feedback, which was kind of weird, won't lie. As for myself, I am currently just painting up one of my little Predators. Just doing some edge highlights on it. Trying to get it ready because I need 2 for my list, although I am debating that third one. It's kind of a question of PVC or Predator at the moment for myself. But that's not what you're here for. You're not here to hear me go on about my list and whatnot. No doubt we'll talk about that soon enough. Lisi, hey mate, how you doing in chat? Let's get straight into it. So first up today, we've got SaltyPatron. I'm just going to have a quick sip of the old drink here. So coming in with a Biology Putrefier and a Foul Blight Spawn, so standard combo there. Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen, one of my favourite units. I really do like it. And we've got Mortarion, 300 points. Real good at the moment, which we really do like. Typhus, again, auto-include pretty much at this point. Then we've got 10-man Plague Marine Squad, 5-man Plague Marine Squad. Now, I'm going to have a lot to say on these very soon. 1 Rhino, we'll see. 2 units of Cultists, we do like them. Death Shroud Terminators and a 6-man. Okie dokie. They're going to probably be joined by a lot of Contagion, I imagine. We've got 2 units of Poxwalkers here, so we've got 20-man and a 10-man. 3 Nurglings, Rotigus the big lad, and 2 Brigands. I want this list to look like a standard Death Guard invasion with lots of Nurgle worshippers seen in Lords of Silence, gameplay-wise. I wanted to gameplay-wise, I wanted to interact with the new Infected rules by having lots of bodies to throw objectives while retaining heavy hitters. Typhus will go with a 20 Poxwalker because I'm also not the biggest fan of the look of blood runs. Fair enough. As we say on this channel, I'm not going to tell you to just force stuff into your list that you're not interested in using. If you don't like blood runs, you don't like blood runs. That is nothing wrong. And you can make a perfectly fine list without blood runs as well. That's not an issue. So, the first thing that's going to stick out to me here is when you said Typhus will go with the 20 Poxwalkers, don't lock that in. I've been playing with 20 Poxwalkers recently. Depends what you're against. If you're against an enemy that has ability for you to regenerate the Poxwalkers, like lots of guard or orcs, Typhus in with the Poxwalkers, 100%. You end up coming against something like Knights or something like that. I probably wouldn't recommend putting him with them because you're never going to get the regeneration ability, and having them split is going to give you 2 different units that are free to go off and do different actions and things like that. So don't just lock yourself down to automatically including Typhus with the Poxwalkers. Obviously it's good when it works, but just always think about your matchup first and where you can go from there, whether you want to include him in the 20 or not. Don't lock it in pre-game. Because I'd also say that with the Death Shroud Terminators and the Lord of Contagion, that's going to obviously slap pretty much everything in close combat, damage-wise. But if you're worried you might need to be a bit more durable, you could swap him out for Typhus and have the Lord of Contagion go solo. Obviously not as ideal. If that was a Sorcerer, that would probably be easier to go solo with because it can just drop in, do an action, it's 75 points, who cares, 70 points. Drop in, shoot you once per game spell, who cares. Lord of Contagion really does want a squad, but again, you could theoretically be putting Typhus with the squad and Lord of Contagion on his own, but I understand Lord of Contagion should probably go with that squad most times. Now, We've got the 10-man fight first, Lethal Brick with the Plague Marines. What weapons have we got? Double Blight Launcher, one Plague Spewer. I tend to prefer 2 Plague Spewers over 2 Blight Launchers because with the Foul Blight spawn in the squad, it gives you like a really nasty Overwatch threat, especially if you place the Flame as well. No one wants to get shot by 3d6 anti-infantry 2+ weapons. The Blight Launcher itself's kind of mid, and I tend to get more use out of the Spewer. And if you are in a heavy Marine meta, then having that extra 2 damage weapon might not be too bad of a shout. Just small things to consider. I'd probably go personally double Spewer, but again, it's not gonna you're not gonna lose a game because you brought a Spewer over. I played Blight Launcher over a Spewer. Don't worry too much about that. This 5-man here, we always want Rhinos for our Plague Marines, but I also understand the hesitance to have a Rhino just for 5 guys. So, if your goal is to just put like the 10-man onto one of your objectives and they're just going to sit there and fight first and be safe this entire time and, obviously be able to get charged and things like that, that's alright. That's not too bad. But, at the same time, because then obviously your 5-man's 3 to get in the Rhino that you've just emptied, if you're going to be using the 10-man aggressively and trying to stage it in the middle, you don't want to force kick them out the Rhino early, and that means you have 5 walking Plague Marines, which is not ideal. They're not really going to get anything done, which again makes me want to take something like another Rhino. But if you're really strapped on points, try, like I said, just find a way to either start maybe these guys in the Rhino and just shoot them out onto an objective and just have them do something, or you have to get these guys onto a point pretty quickly. Like 5 Marines just sat around not doing anything is I've done it before. I did a list this exact same style. I had 10-man big squad and a 5-man MSU squad, and the 5-man did nothing all game because it had no ability to get anywhere because I didn't give it a Rhino. It was a massive regret in the list. So consider maybe swapping that out. Whether that's, what could you swap that potentially out for? Because you don't really like bloat drones. You could even just put something like I'd probably even maybe potentially just look at a Beast and Nurgle rather than just those 5. But again, it's not the worst thing. You could have a Blight Hauler, for example. Again, it's just tough. It's fast moving. It's more itself independent. It doesn't need a transport. It's not going to do much. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's a little bit more self-sufficient. But again, all depends how you're using that Rhino, mate. If the Rhino's going to get emptied pretty early and it's going to be there to pick up the next 5 or vice versa, then it's not too much of an issue. Really like double cultists. 20 and a 10 is a bit... 10 Poxwalkers don't really tend to do anything, and they're also really bad for actions because they're really slow, they don't have scout, and also they have awful leadership. They're like leadership 8 or something like that. It's terrible. So I don't really tend to recommend running 10 Poxwalkers unless they're going to sit on your home and you want to be more aggressive with the 20. That's not too bad. But I would personally rather have these be like, again, if you just swap in straight points, I would rather have 3 units of cultists. I just find them generically more useful. But at the same time, it's not, again, you're not going to lose your capability to win a game because you brought 10 Poxwalkers to 10 cultists. Now you do have big 6 Death Shroud Terminator brick. I do like that. That's fine. That's all good. Mortarian's obviously there to support. Now the interesting thing is, Mortar in this list has to put in some work, so that you have to be kind of aggressive with Morty because he's not got any units to support. He can't give predators, ignore mods, or real ones to wound. There's not much that's going to be making use of Morty's auras. So Morty himself has to be using his points efficiency and his toughness and his killing capability, which isn't great, but it's not too bad if you get into stuff that doesn't have invulnerables. This is good because you've got Rogus at least, so you can put down these 2 big T12 monsters in the middle and be like, do something about it. Which is good. Don't get me wrong, that's pretty nice. And you've got some Nurglings, obviously, Infiltrate's always good. The Brigands and the 10-man, you've basically got 3 heavy output units. You've got the Plague Marines, the Death Shroud, and 2 Brigands. The rest is all incidental damage, and obviously Morty Rogus, potentially. Honestly, I don't think it's terrible, though. I would probably put the Havoc Launchers on these guys, because just the chance you get to shoot some cultists or something, it tends to be generally better, and even if you can direct line of sight somewhat, you end up getting rough for the same shots, but you have the bonuses of blast and things like that. It's neither here nor there massively, but I just like having the option to ping someone if someone's on a wound hiding somewhere. You can just try and finish it off, which is quite nice if you've drawn something no prisoners or something. But yeah, actually, you know what? It's not too bad. Again, my initial reaction is this 5-man Plague Marines, of which 5-man Plague Marines are doing really well at the moment, so I do really like 5-man Plague Marines. Though yeah, you got double plasma. I like double plasma gun on my 5-man Plague Marines, but do be aware that with the 5-mans again, you kind of want rhinos because you kind of be getting out, doing something, flipping an objective. They're not really going to live, but they can get away with it, especially if you're being more aggressive, you're more tyrant, you're Rotogus, because they need to be pushing and they need to be taking fire, which is going to allow you to get the 10-man rhino into a good spot, or you know, some 5-mans that can potentially get ignored to pull off an action, which is quite nice. Overall, I quite like it. You don't have too much long range shooting though, which is kind of worrying a little bit. You got your brigands, that's about it. But and then at the most long range. But in terms of Prior Nexus, I like all the disposable scoring units. You got one, like if we talk about disposable, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5. That's a pretty good amount to have. Plus the Rhino itself is 1, so 6 there. So that's a good amount of scoring for Prior Nexus, and Prior Nexus is going quite MSU heavy at the moment. So you don't want too many bricks, but the problem is you have 2 massive bricks. You got Death Shroud and the Plague Marines. Morty and Rotogus aren't really bricks, they're more like massive distractions, but they're doing a specific purpose, which I'm also fine with. So overall, I think you'd be alright with this list. Again, I just maybe consider how you're playing with these Plague Marines here. And the small change I would try and do is like change those guys to cultists, but again, you really like Poxwalkers, because there's nothing wrong with that. But overall, yeah, it's pretty solid there. So I'm quite happy with that one. I think it'll do quite well. Just again, bear in mind, Plague Marines really have to get value. It's such an expensive unit and such a fragile unit, so you really need like Morty to like absorb a charge, pop disgustingly resilient, survive, and the Plague Marines can come out and like clean up, and then you start getting your points back. So just be aware of that and just be a little bit careful. Let me just tick that off. Let me quickly check up on chat. LOLO Epsilon. Just wondering if you'd ever consider a submission limit. Yeah, so I was talking to Nat about this before. The Plague Surgery is far more popular than we thought. We didn't think it'd be as popular as it is, but it is massively popular. So the problem we're having is people are submitting multiple lists, and again, there's nothing. I'm not here to tell anyone off. I'm not here to do that for any reason, but because we need to try and be fair to everyone, and I can only do one of these streams a week, maybe 2 if we're lucky. We might have to cap how often you can submit a list to the Plague Surgery. Now, how I'd implement that, I don't actually know. But we need to try and make sure everyone's getting a fair shot of getting in here. So I do apologise, Epsilon is quite hard. Maybe I'll try and just do like 2 this week to try and like sort of catch up a little bit more. But it's honestly way more popular than I thought. You guys really want your list looking at. It kind of blew me away. But we will look at maybe implementing something like that. So if you do have a list to submit, please make sure it's the one you guys really want me to check out. Don't send me like 1 and then like 2, like the next day send me like another one where you've just changed 1 unit. Just type that out in the original post, be like, I'm debating this unit instead, because that gives me something to talk about as well. That would massively help us guys as well and cut down on the amount of we're trying to get through. Because we are trying to get through them. There's just so goddamn many of them. What should the PVC be priced at, Mystics? Personally, I would be happy if it went down to like 165, 160. I'd be happy at. That would like, if it was like Brigand, because again, you compare it to Brigand still probably wins out on raw value, but the fact it's Death Guard unit can do certain things with indirect. I think, and it's obviously tougher with a 2-up save. 165 I would be quite happy with, because again, 3 of them would save you 45 points. It's still noticeable upgrade, still noticeable points increase from the Predator, 35 points extra rather than the current 50, which is insanity. But it does have some advantages that the Predator doesn't have. That's probably where I'd put it. I'd like it at 160 preferably, but 165 I could deal with. You put it to 150, I'm slapping 3 in every list again. Hello, Christos. Lee C, quick question. Might be a long answer, so please ignore. Is there a difference between a teams list and a singles list? There is a massive difference, and it's not just to do with Death Guard. It's to do with how teams and singles is done. You are done on a drafting system, so when you come to get your pairing, it's not random like singles, so you have to prepare for anything. You can literally have your captain dodge certain matchups for you. So you can take all Flame or Death Guard, and your job in the team is to maul infantry matchups. They'll try and get you that. So it is very, very different. And if someone does submit a teams list, maybe we can look at it, and that would help explain it to you. It's a bit too long to get into right now, but yes, there is a massive difference. And yeah, you would write a list that techs into somewhat specific, because that way you're basically giving your team the best way to get a good pair in there. Okay? No worries. Yeah, as Roly Poly's saying as well, thank you very much for helping answer that one, Roly Poly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the gifted membership there. Congratulations to Nathan McDonald who got that. Again, guys, if you have become a member, go to the community tab on the homepage for our YouTube channel. Scroll down a few posts, you will see a Discord link. Click that and you get to join the Discord and join in all the fun. And also thank you very much to Lucas Davis for becoming a Plague Marine yourself, mate. Again, that message applies to you. Go check it out. Become a member. Get in this Discord. Post your list, etc. Go get the music because I'm pretty sure that's what you're after. Possibly Epsilon. I'll look into it, mate. I will look into it because we were discussing it before. Because we have noticed it as well, mate. Volunteer as tribute. No worries. A machine gun smelly. Okay, so RascallyLad. BioP, Lord of Contagion, no deadly pathogen, which is upsetting, but understand if your points are tight, yeah, cut the enhancement. It's not the worst thing in the world. Mortarian Typhus, okay, so quite close to the previous one. 180 points for the 10 man, so no Foul Blight sponsors, kind of like an aggressive. This needs to be aggressive now. This needs to be an aggressive unit straight away. You've gone all melee, so that's not too bad, but you can't get charged this unit. You need to play this unit perfectly now. Just be aware. Rhino, Chaos Spawn, Cultists, 2 big Bricks Death Shroud Terminators, 2 Fetid Bloat Drones, and a triple Brigand. Okay, now this list is... So the problem I've got with this a little bit is... we have Mortari actually, my boy's here. I was wondering why it looks so little. Okay, so action-wise, we've got... Spawn, Cultists, and maybe 2 Bloat Drones. Not the worst, not the best. Bear in mind a lot of actions in a lot of MSU armies at the moment. Now, Death Shroud Terminator bricks are good, but they, and I was speaking to Epsilon about this. Also, do we have a character for each one? Yep, Typhus and Lord of Contagion. Good, always want your characters with them. The problem I have with Death Shroud Terminator bricks is I think they're good, but they have awful matchups. And maybe Dave and Will have both been trying them. Will's at his tournament tomorrow using 18 of the bastards. So they're gonna bring back some more data for this one. But I think Death Shroud Terminators, if you're against a competent player that has the ability to deal with them, he will deal with them, or he will just stay away from them, or he or she, sorry. And that means that your goal for these guys has to be to put them on an objective, because you can't go chasing things. And the current meta is quite MSU heavy and tank heavy, and tanks will maul Death Shroud Terminators. Like you get shot by tank commanders, you get shot by predators, even like Riptides. It's not great for Death Shroud Terminators. That being said, if you get into a melee brawl matchup, they're insanely good. They're quite polarizing in that way. Now, you haven't gone for the all 18, so I can actually live with this. My personal current number's at 9. I have a 6 and a 3. And then I'd use the 110 points there to go and get some more scoring units. But at the same time, we don't always copy each other. It's not the fun. But in terms of what this list does, it's not too bad, but you have to be quite aggressive because, especially if these guys are going to start in reserves, you might not want to. At least one unit, maybe. One unit has to 100% start in reserves. Maybe you debate the other one. Depends on what your opponent's playing. You need to take space early to make sure that your deep strikes don't get screened out. But in order to take space, you're going to need more disposable chaff, because the problem is you can't just truck your chaff out there because you have no actiony stuff which will die. Now, the Rhino buys a lot of space because no one wants to get charged by the content, so there's one. Morty can buy some space, but again, he has to maybe make himself a bit vulnerable to do that. The Brigands themselves make you want to keep the tanks back and away from them, so that's not too bad. But the last thing you want is to have your entire Death Shroud drop, put back in your own deployment zone because someone has basically just push some chaff forward and some MS units. Like, again, 2 5-man squads of like assault intercessors at like 150 points, and strung out will screen out most of the board where they care about. So you need to make sure that's not happening. So that's where like having stuff like, again, your own 5-mans like your cultists to push it back. The boat drones actually do a pretty good job of that because again they can be quite scary into those units. You've got flesh mowers potentially as well. And then you're trading units, and that's not too bad. But just be aware, you don't want to get in a spot where these guys are being like all in reserves and now you're dropping them in your own deployment zone, because then you're screwed. And the Brigands also need you to push forward because the Brigands need to get into spots because they've only got a shorter range, 24, and you really want to be within 12 for that extra melter damage. So you have to create space for yourself. And I don't think this list is terrible. Now, the one thing I do agree with someone in chat is the Chaos Spawn do feel a little awkward in this list. The question is, what can we do with them? Honestly, I would rather swap the spawn out just for another unit of cultists. We also need to talk about what's holding your home objective here, because right now there's not much holding your home objective. You're gonna have to leave some on it, like a spitter or something like that. Because again, these guys don't have the range to sit there and shoot away. Your cultists, if they're gonna sit on home, now you have very little to push forward. If you have Chaos Spawn sat on home, they don't screen out particularly well. You'll get 3-inch deep striked on. I would change the spawn for either another unit of cultists or a unit of poxwalkers and give that 15 points to the Lord of Contagion for Deadly Pathogen. Just makes him hit that bit harder. Just because, again, they take up more board space. Yes, they're not as durable, but at the same time, like, Accelon's it everywhere, and they'll just 3-inch deep strike and take your home objective, and then you look real stupid. You're like, great. So 10 poxwalkers, 10 cultists, but just beware in this one. Because you've got quite a lot of expensive units, trading could be quite difficult, and you're going to have to be quite invested into how you play with the bloat drones and one of your units of cultists if they're going to be playing up forward. You need to buy that space, and then it's not really a turn-free wait around. These guys have to come in and start making something happen. But you need to, again, put the same way we play the Rotagus list. You need to have the opponent put in a position where Morty's exposed, the Death Shroud are exposed, and the Brigands are semi-exposed. That way, and the best way to do with the try and get the Brigands in a spot where to engage the Brigand means coming close to the Death Shroud. So if they want to get an angle to shoot a Brigand, they get within charge range of a Death Shroud. That way you can at least punish that. But if you just expose one of these units at a time, I guarantee you in the current meta they will die. You cannot just put 6 Death Shroud out there and think they'll live. They will not live. They will die to shooting. Has to all come down, has to all be in your opponent's face. You accept the damage. You pop as much defensive as you can, so you pop -1 damage on whatever they're going to focus down, and then you need to push into them aggressively. But overall, I don't hate the list. I think it's pretty cool, actually. Quite like it. Just change the spawn out. The spawn just sticks out like a sore thumb, either into a Poxwalkers or a Cultists. Not, again, spawn out bad, it's just in this list specifically, you need something that's going to screen out your home objective, and also something that's going to, if you don't need home objective being scored, buying more space upfield, whereas the spawn with just the 2 bases can't buy you much space. Part of that, though, I quite like it. Let me know how these big Brits going, because I'm just not sold on like the 12 Death Shroud. I prefer the 9, but it's worked. Garrett Stacey literally went 5-0 with 18 Death Shroud the other week, and he went 4-1 this week with the same list. I think he was undone by Guard, which again, talk about move blocky stuff like that. Move blocky tank commanders, they don't do too great into that, but I think, again, it all depends as well where you're playing at. If this is for a tournament, if this is for a local club as well, it kind of helps. But it is, overall, it's a pretty good list. Just make sure you get the value out, and you need to bring out all this stuff at once. So you need the Plague Marines out, the Death Shroud out. Well, not even the Plague Marine. Expose the Rhino with the Plague Marines in it, because then they have to crack the shell and then deal damage to the guys inside, which, again, buys it more shots than your Death Shroud or your Mortarion. But yeah, just play it well. You've got lots of OC in your Brigands as well, so don't forget about using these guys for OC as well. But yeah, overall, quite like that. Quite like that. Tick that one off. Let me quick chat. Just in time for my last The game Ramblers 30 pox had 10 sit at home and charge. So yeah, that's perfectly fine, Griffin. That's no problem with that. Maybe a Sorcerer Lord could be good instead. One type of sort of defensive, more type of Sorcerer Lord. You could do, yeah. You could have the Sorcerer Lord instead of the spawn. My problem is again, someone needs to hold home, and as soon as that becomes a Sorcerer Lord, the Cultists then have to sit on home, and then you have nothing to buy early space part 2 blow drones. Like, that's literally it, which is not ideal. That's my opinion anyway. Comrade, how should I position and use this army, and how would you play it? It's what I want to buy up to at this point, only on 7 Plague Marines and a Rhino. It's not up for changing the entire list, but I want to hear all the feedback you got. I really like to play South in the toolbox. My idea was to have a good line of shooting that can support some aggressive melee units. I got 2 PBCs, is 1 enough? Okay, we'll talk about PBCs in a sec. Could get another bloat drone on 90 points to spare for on PBC. Okay, right. Give me a sec, guys. I'm going to have to change this to internet. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oh, no, that has not changed. Oh god, I changed. Oh no, what did I just change? I think I just changed the chat, but what did I just change? That one. Delete that. I meant to go to the main screen. There we go. I'll put another one. There we go. Okay. So usual Biopluchfus Foul Blight spawn. Okay. Straight up, drop the enhancements. Enhancements for Death Guard are usually dead points. They're just not worth it. Only Deadly Path is the only one I kind of recommend a lot of Contagion. Living Plague can be okay, but you don't need on Plague Marines. And that'll buy you 30. That's straight there. Get off. That there is straight 30 points extra. Which we'll see if it can get you anything. But I mean, I wouldn't spend this many points on enhancement. It's just not worth it. Also, Christopher Lart, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. I think you're going to take 2 times Death Shroud Terminator breaks. You should consider double Lord of Violence and leverage their shooting. I do like Lord of Violences with Death Shroud. I think a single Death Shroud Terminator, a single squad at least should have a Lord of Virulence. If you got more than one, I'd definitely bring one Lord of Virulence, because it's not just the fact you can drop down and shoot, it's the fact that you got like the rapid ingress Overwatch plays it can do, and again, like, it just dominates board space without you having to make charges, because again, no one wants to come near it because of the full rerolls to wound. So I do agree, I think it's actually really, really good. The droning in LOV in a PvC build can be cheeky. It can be, but let's just look at the state of fails for that. So not only does your Lord of Virulence have to be near with the droning, so you have to be near them, you have to be in contagion range, which is not going to be easy on that slow moving that unit. But then you also need you need to, first of all, land a hit, which is not the hard bit, that's fine. But then your opponent has to fail the battle shock, and then you deal D3 mortal wounds, which control 1. It's just not worth the points. It's not worth the investment. I've tried it on a Noxious Blightbringer for the -2 leadership test as well. Just, if you can, like, I mean, don't worry, if you've got 1990 points and you've got nothing else to spend it on, sure, put it in. But I've done that before and I just forgot it existed in the list because it just never comes up ever. Until it probably does, and then it wins you the game. So, Lord of Contagion, Mortarian Typhus. So again, I like this character package, very nice. 10-man Plague Marines with a Rhino, nice. Cultist, Hellbrew, okay. We'll come back to him. Death Guard, Predator, Annihilator. Right, we'll come back to that one again. Destructors tend to just be better. I think even when someone mapped it out versus vehicles, like, the Destructor still just, on average, does like about the same, but against infantry does way more. So I'd probably just have this as a Destructor. But again, the good thing is, like, I'll show you right now. Predator. See the turret? See it's got my auto cannon on it? Just don't glue it in. Just cut the ends off. Like that. Just cut the nibs off the end. And then just put a little bit of blue tack or white tack inside there. And literally, you can slot in and out the different guns as needed. So I just change this whenever I need it. So it really doesn't matter what I say. Try it as an Annihilator. Try it as a Destructor. Just don't glue the turret in. Just do that. That one little trick. Then we have a single unit Death Shroud Terminators with 3-man. I like that. And a 6-man. Yes, this is my preferred build. This is how I like to roll. A fetid bloat drone with a heavy blight launcher. I actually like this. One bloat drone is not enough to push forward with, even though that's kind of what you want them to do a lot of the time. So if you're going to have it as just like a flanky, skirty, actiony guy, having a heavy blight launcher is actually not bad, because it means the turns when you don't draw an action secondary, you don't need him to do something like that, you can stay safe at 36-inch range and still contribute to little engagements. Now, don't get me wrong, you're probably only going to kill 2 to 3 Marines. But that's 2 to 3 Marines that you weren't going to kill. So having him just skirting there, just see a target, go, yeah, go on, plump, 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 and kill them. That's quite nice. Dual Plague Burst Crawler. Okay. Plague Burst Crawlers. So, Plague Burst Crawlers are not great in direct tanks anymore because of the 4 up to hit. That being said, Mortarion helps them out a little bit. Giving them reroll 1s to wound means you basically can guarantee, if you shoot infantry anyway, you can get 100% of your wound rolls, because you'll be wounded on 2s rolling 1s against like Marines, etc. So that's pretty good. Kind of offsets the hitting on 4s. The problem is you are hitting on 4s, which can just sometimes net you nothing. Now, if you were to say to me, Aiden, should I take 1 Plague Burst Crawler? No, never take 1. It doesn't do anything. The indirect will never do anything. It's 2 or 3. 2 with Morty's okay. I was running that for a bit. It's not too bad. Like, the real ones helps a little bit, but you're not using them for indirect. It's not a sit back and shoot unit. It's definitely a more of a aggressive, use the 2+ save. When I say aggressive, it doesn't mean just drive at your opponent and get it killed. It means like stick to some cover, some nice little angles, and just be like, hey, I'm a 2+ saving cover unit that can -1 to hit whenever I want. And if opponent shoots you, then pop the strap and see if you can tank it, because you can save last cannons on 4s, you're -1 to hit. You got a pretty good amount of wounds. Your T10, it's not bad. And that's what PvCs are good for, because then when your opponent exposes itself, you then punish. Because you have entry mechanics to shoot back, you've got a second PvC. And if you ever get the mortars just direct fire stuff, they're actually pretty good, especially if you get contagion range on -1 save off. They're actually not too bad. Some people use them with sprayers to be quite aggressive, but in this list you've got sprayers on all your Terminators here, so that's not too bad. If this becomes a Destructor, I'll be a bit happier. But again, the Annihilator can once again swing out and shoot anything that tried to kill a PvC, so it's not too bad. Now the Hellbrute, this is the worst bit, because anyone in the Discord, I'm about to say the Hellbrute's not worth it, but a guy just literally went 5-0 using 2 goddamn Hellbrutes and 44 Plague Marines, going to piss me off when I have to review it late this week. I don't know how, but he did. Or she did. Whoever it is, they did it. So, Hellbrute obviously has the benefit of being able to tag stuff with Contagion, which is actually not too bad. And one of I don't mind. The problem with it is that it's quite squishy, and if you get shot, it usually tends to die. Now, that being said, if you put 2 PvCs in someone's face, or not face, but midfield with a Mortarion, shooting the Hellbrute's probably not that much of a concern to them. That being said, we come back to the question, if PvCs are being aggressive and Mortys in the midfield, do we need to spread Contagion at range? Because your Contagion spreaders are in the midfield, so they're going to start making contact soon. Now, he still has a pretty decent tank shot, because again, you get 9 dice plus the extra D3 models on the charge, which is not too bad. So I don't mind that too much, but used to be better, obviously. And the Fist can pack quite a punch, so if you like him in your list, I'm not going to just be like, drop him, because he's not too bad, but in general, he's just a bit overcosted. If he was like 110 points, I'd be a lot happier. 130 is just a bit expensive. Like, he's competing with Predators, and that's the main problem. Like, I would rather him just be a second Predator. But again, if I'm going to play this list, so depends what you're against. If you're against an opponent that's going to be quite aggressive and push into you, or play around the mid board, I'd keep the 6-man. I played this list with 9 Terminators on TTS recently. I had my 6-man start on the board because I was against Dark Angels and we were on Search and Destroy, so they just stayed near the middle. I was like, you come onto the middle objective, I'll charge you with 6 Death Shrouds, simple as. And my 3-man was in reserves with a lot of Contagion. That's looking for a rapid ingress. That's looking to come in, rapid ingress, and get onto something juicy and kill it. The 6-man stayed inside with a Terminator Sorcerer. In your case, you'd have Typhus, which is the one thing I don't like about putting Typhus on the board, because then Typhus doesn't get to like just get his mortals wherever needed. I like Typhus solo, so you can get that. So I mean, if you drop the 30 points from here, from these enhancements, can we find 40 points anywhere? So if we can find 40 points, then you could cut the Nurglings, and that would get you a Terminator Sorcerer Lord, which would free up Typhus to go solo. But that being said, Nurglings can be quite useful little toolbox thing. Man. I mean, you could cut down the Hellbrutes like another bloat drone. That would also do it. I would probably do that personally, because I'd rather have 2 bloat drones than a Hellbrute, because again, the faster they can get to do actions and do things like nicer. And then you can get the Sorcerer Lord in there that allows Typhus to go solo, which means you have another action monkey that can go and do stuff. And then obviously put out his magic. And you have a really nice brawling unit, because -1 damage on 6 Death Shroud is real bad for enemy melee to try and deal with. So that's probably where I'd go with that. But to playstyle, again, 6-man probably on the board in those aggressive matchups. In the non-aggressive matchups, or someone else wants to hide, you can put them both in reserves, although again, be aware you have to take board space. Plague Burst Crawlers can be semi-aggressive. If you swap this guy into another Predator, you can potentially look at putting Flamers on the Plague Burst Crawlers, especially if you've got 2 Annihilators, because the entries are kind of hit and miss already. So the sprayers are just a lot more reliable, and if you're going to like play mid-board with them, with Mortarion, having that board control is probably going to help, and those themselves will help buy you space for your Death Shroud to come in. Because let's say, if you have 2 Plague Burst Crawlers and Mortarion in the middle, and you have Death Shroud in reserves, your opponent wants to send some out to push back your Death Shroud, even if that means running past your tanks. So if you have entry cannons, I'm going to run 10 cultists past you and just sort of push back your bubble of rapid ingress. If those tanks have Plague Spitters, I'm probably not going to do that because I'm going to die, which is obviously not great for me. So you can see how the Plague Spitters can maybe play into that a little better. So I would probably drop the Hellbrute for a second Predator, and then what else would we go for? 2 Predators would be useful, or you can drop it for a second bloat drone, and then use the points to get, with the enhancements cut as well, to get a Terminator Sorcerer Lord, which then frees up Typhus to go solo. So I think that's my personal opinion on this list. Or you can drop the Nurglings, but again, depends how much you value the Infiltrate there. Sometimes it's really useful, sometimes they do nothing. It kind of depends what you're against, but they're a good tool to have if you're against a lot of scouts or JO lists. But again, if you're not facing them, you can probably just cut them and the enhancements, and then get the Terminator Sorcerer in without having to drop anything, which is really nice as well. But yeah, hope that's okay for you there, mate. But yeah, don't ever go to 1 PBC. At least 2, 3, preferably if you're going to run PBCs, or 0. That's probably how I'd say it. Okay, let me just quickly chat on... Oh my god, you guys are chatty buggers in the chat, aren't you? One thing I'm impressed by this channel is we do have quite an active chat on the streams, which is really nice to see. I do like it. 12-inch Contagion, Lord of Virulence. Yeah, it is nice, to be fair. Huon, Gunline, Death Guard, and Hellbreed is just such an awkward day. Yeah, that's the problem, Epsilon. It's competing for Predator stats. It's exact same points as Predator, and I'd just rather have another Predator to put down shots. But they are cute though. I mean, mine's right here. I do like a cheeky Hellbrute. Strategic Reserve Hellbrute as well used to make me laugh. Just run in and punch sort of a massive tank shock. Back when it was better. You guys are just chatting between yourselves. That's fine with me. Cool, yeah, sweet. Do you reckon the Lord of Contagion should have 6 or 3? 3, 100%. The Lord of Contagion adds so much damage to the squad, he makes up for the size difference of the 3-man. You don't need him in the 6-man, it's probably going to kill most things it touches anyway, so 100% in the 3-man. Alright, let's go back to the old Discordy. 100%. Lord of Contagion adds so much damage to the squad, he makes up for the size difference. Oh god, there's 2 lists. Right, I'm only going to do 1. Are you in the chat, Bmob, at all? If you are in the chat, please pick 1. Because I don't want to do both, because we have to try and be fair to everyone else. How do you running these lists with a viewer taking it to 1 to IT November? I've liked the 2 VBCs and the 2 for the 2+, and the 2 indirect guns that can keep elves and squishy enemies on. Yeah, true. Also really good against squishy elves. Turn 1 before I just bomb them out aggressively, but unsure they're worth against stronger non-T3 matchups. Right, okay, let me just... We'll check the first one. Taking it to 1 to IT November. I've liked the 2 VBCs and the 2... You can hit for the 2+. Why'd that turn on? Apologies, the desktop audio decided to turn on for some reason. Yay! Thank you for letting me know. It should be fixed now. Stupid stream. Right, okay, so I need to go back to Tinterwebs. No, why did you start playing? I opened up my own stream apparently. Right, so do it for Granddaddy. Let's load that up, and then switch back to Opera. Do it for Granddaddy. Okay. So Balance Putrefire, Fire, Blightspawn, Lord of Contagion, Typhus. So no more Tyrant, which is something I've been playing around with. Stop watching yourself. You know what the worst bit is? I can't type in chat on my stream app, so I have to watch myself in case I need to type something in chat, which is annoying. I've been playing around with no Morty as well. Again, people in the Discord saw the list I put up. One of them is non-Morty, one of them is Morty. Non-Morty with PBCs, triple PBCs, I actually quite like. We've got big 10-man fights first Bricky. 1 cultist unit, predator, like 2 3-mans, again, really like that, 3 bloat drones, 2 plague bus crawlers, double Nurglings, and Rotters. Okay, so my initial reaction is like, why double Nurglings? Again, if you are expecting a lot of infiltrate and stuff, that's fine. If not, I would try, again, I don't know how many points you have, 5 points over a unit of cultists. That's a bit upsetting, because I'd rather have a second unit of cultists. So, again, let's look at how much scoring stuff you have, because, again, Pariah Nexus wants quite a lot of 5-mans. Again, you think about it, even if you hear, like, Art War and stuff talking, they're even talking about, like, just taking 1 bomb at the moment, 1 brick, especially at the... They were talking about Blood Angels at the time, and they were talking about how, like, there's so many good, powerful, strong units in Blood Angels, but if you take all these bricks, you just lose, because you can't do actions and stuff like that, and when you start losing units, because the game's extremely lethal at the moment, especially with like tank commanders, exorcists. Like, look at sisters list. Exorcist castigators. He just wants to kill you. So you put out a 10-man or a 5-man, it's dead. So I'd rather put out a 5-man and just score my points, and then it dies, and I've lost like a third of the points I would have. So cultists, we have 1 unit that can go out. Now these are 3-man, so they're less of an investment than 6-man, so I don't mind that. That's fine. So list the points work to try and stop the infiltrating. Right, okay. If that's all right then. If it's for teams, then yeah, okay, I get that. So I need to know what your rolling teams is, because if your rolling teams is to be the person that's here just to basically try and neutralize hard matchups, then you want to go with like potentially even finding points for the 3rd Plague Burst Crawler and playing just passive and just have lots of trash to send out. So like 5-man Plague Marines. Like 1 10-man's pretty good to scare people away. No one wants to come near it. But then you just fill it with like cultists or 5-man Plague Marines. Your entire point is to just be like, look, I have the ability to play passive and just do nothing. In a bad matchup, I'll just shoot indirect stuff, send out cultists, score some points, whatever. You win by like 10, 15. So it's a 13 to 7. Cool, I've got some points for the team. If you are looking to get more favourable matchups, look at the teams list that's ran by the French, which is triple PBC, triple Predator, Mortarian, and like triple Blood Runners. It's very mech heavy and it's just flamers goddamn everywhere. And the whole point is, hey, if I get an infantry game, I kill you. If I don't get an infantry game, I play very cagey, just hold angles for the shooting, and the mortars for indirect can just chip away at stuff, and you have Mortarian list as well. And you just have semi-durable units, like no one can expose stuff because Predators can just swing out and kill them. And then late game, you can put Morty onto some points and, you know, send out the tanks and do stuff. Or you can be aggressive, put the tanks midfield. If you're going to do this in teams and you want, like, I mean, this played passively, because, again, I like the 3-man Death Shrouds. It means you can just, like, drop them in and get points if you need to. I just kind of want 1 or 2 more, like, actually scoring units. Nurglings are great against, like, you said, GSC and stuff, so you're expecting them, fair enough. I just want to see, like, maybe a bloat drone, because, again, 3 flesh models on here tells me pressure. And if your job is to be blunting stuff, going for a pressure aggressive list is not what you want. So I could potentially cut one of these and then go for like another unit of cultists, just so or even a 5-man that can just hop out the rhino and do stuff. But the one thing you don't want is just sit with 3 flesh mowers that are, again, your job's to blunt, so you don't want to take risks. You don't want to be put in a position where this can go horribly wrong, so the best way to do that is to play slow. You've got the indirect, you just chip away at stuff. You've got some scouts with like cultists, just go and get early objectives, score points. Again, you can get like 60 points out of a game and they don't table you. It's very unlikely they're getting 100. You can hold these to like 14 to 6 is pretty easily, which again can blunt stuff, but you need disposable crap for that. And you just need a little bit more, I reckon, here. So potentially just swap out. I really wish you had like 5 more points. I hate this goddamn. It's 1995. That's 1990. Much happier. You haven't even got any enhancements, have you? Yeah. Ooh, man. You could potentially drop a Death Shroud brick and just have Typhus go solo then, and then that would give you like 2 units of cultists, or even a 20-man Poxwalkers, which is pretty funny, because then you can just go, hey, you drew Cold Lord and lucky mate, they're sat in the back corner, you ain't scoring that. And that's pretty good for denying some points as well. Also, it's just kind of an annoying unit to kill. So maybe that depends how much use you get out of your 3-man Death Shrouds. If you're finding them quite useful, then by all means keep them. But if your job's just to try and blunt something, you could drop that and just put in like 2 units of cultists and then just, again, look for points. All you're looking for, points, all you're after. So, yeah, I know, right? That's probably what I'm going to recommend for you, Boeb. So, either drop the bloat drone and then go like triple Nurglings potentially and get another unit of cultists in there. Just something that can run out, because again, bloat drones, they're good, but you need to piecemeal send stuff out. But really, I mean, if you trade in a bloat drone for a unit of cultists and Nurglings, you're still only getting 1 unit that can do actions out of it. And the whole point, we kind of want to separate this into 2 units that can do actions. You could also potentially combine your Destro into a 6-man and just have this giant unit of please fuck off. So if someone like pushes you, you can rapid ingress it in, you can overwatch with it, and that frees up Typhus to go solo. Which again is neither here nor there. Oh, okay. Notorious Nurgle making a good point. You could have 2 units. 1 unit of 6 Nurglings is actually cheaper than 2 of 3. So you could do 1 of 6. Spread that out still pretty evenly. Because again, you don't really care if it dies. If you're there to deny Gene Stealer Cults, you're gonna it's probably gonna die. But you could still screen out quite a lot of the board with 6 guys spread at max coherency, and that would give you the point to drop 1 bloat drone and get 2 units of Cultists or Poxwalkers or something. That I do like, because that's going to give you a little bit of extra scoring on this list without losing output. So if that appeals to your B-Mob, that actually might be a great shout there from Notorious Nurgle. Something I forgot is Nurglings actually get cheaper. So let us know what you think of that one. That actually might be the shout. I think that's a great shout. So combine these, 70 points, drop a bloat drone, 2 more units of Cultists in there, boom. Loads more scoring potential, still don't give up too much of your screening stuff, and you're only losing a bloat drone, which at this point you're not really looking to play aggressive because you're looking for the blunt as well. So yeah, I actually really like that. So good shout, Notorious Nurgle. Good shout, mate. You should come on it. Do you want to take this seat? I think you're doing a better job than I am on that one. So let's go back to the Discord. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to personally just quickly look at your second list, very briefly, very quickly, just to see if I like that one better. Bodies everywhere, so don't worry about the stream. Close. Nope, don't like that one. I think I prefer your second one. Your first one, sorry. I think I prefer your first one there, mate. I'll be honest with you. I reckon that's probably a better play. Is your first list that you put up there, especially as well if you've also got the like I said, you've got some reps in it. Because you said I've been playing it, I've been quite liking it. So yeah, and honestly, PBCs against the less tough, less squishy matchups, you can still shoot stuff like scouts. Just think again, you're just looking to hamper ability, but the main thing is you're looking to not get tabled. So don't worry about it. Just hide. Just be like, yeah, cool. You ain't killing me. Right, mate, tick that. Tick that there. He needs to stop GSC. He needs infiltrate, Don. Looking at a list that aims at utilising Morty and Rotty with the points decrease. Big stink butt. So Biology, Future Fire, Lord of Contagion, Deadly Pathogen, looking at Place of Plague Boss, Mortarion, Typhus, so quite a big heavy package on characters there, not that I'm against it. 1 big fight, Thirsty Boy, second one for the thingy, this is what I've said. 6-man, 3-man, really like that. 2 bloat drones, not too bad. Okay, so instant thought here is if you go against anyone that has any shooting, they're going to sit on the lanes and you're fucked. You're going to get ripped to goddamn shreds. So you need some form of ability to shoot back at people, because otherwise you're going to have 3 castigators sit in lines of fire looking at all the objectives. Someone's going to put a Land Raider Redeemer on a middle objective and you're never touching it. And your 1 War Dog Brigand is not card carrying this. So, that being said, you kind of need to get in. I mean, really, it's like you kind of need some Predators, I'm not going to lie. Some form of shooting, or at least a second Brigand. I don't. The Plague Bearers, you'll at least need to go to Nurglings, which brings you to 70 points there. 90 off there would be 160. Gets you 1 Predator, but again, Predators really need to be in 2s to 3s. I think if you're going to do both a Rotagus and a Mortarion, I don't think you want the Plague Bus as much as it breaks my goddamn heart. It's 205 points for the Plague Bus, and again, it's a close range unit, and in this one, you really need that long range shooty firepower. Just again to keep people humble, and it's not an aggressive enough list where you're like pushing up. Don, no, there's no Lord of Virulence. Crabs is a very special list that is made by you. Crabs has to be respected. So, I think the Plague Bus goes away. That's 205 points. And then maybe cut like a Bloat Drone as well. That's 295. That does get you the 2 Predators plus a bit of change. My initial thought is to drop these Plague Bearers to do some Nurglings. What's going to be... Because you have these big Death Shard bricks that can hold the objectives later. You've got Rotagus and Mortarion that can do it. You just need to back them up with some shooting, because things are going to have to come out and things are going to have to expose themselves to shoot Rotagus and to shoot Mortarion. So you need something to punish people when they do that. That can be Brigands, but you definitely need more than one. One's not going to do it. So either take the units I just said there, so take out the Plague Bus, get a second Brigand, that instantly makes it better. I'd probably drop the Plague Bearers to some Nurglings as well, try and use those points elsewhere. Triple Brigand would be fine, but again, it depends if you want to be doing... Okay, Mr. we've made changes, right, okay. What we'll do is then, let's... How far down is it, mate? Because we'll go to that, because there's no point me talking about an old list if you've got one there. If you can... I'll find it in a minute. I will search for you. Mr. Untouchable. Is it this one? You can find it for me. Is it this one now? Because we've obviously got this one here, where you've got like a Hellbrute and stuff in it. But this one isn't rocking Morty, so it depends which one you're after, mate. Let me know which one it is, but don't worry, we'll come back to it. But my instant thought on that first list was to try. You need some more guns in there instantly. That is a different one, right? Okay. Jesus Christ! Well, you guys are way too freaking happy to be here. I'm glad it's this popular, but holy shit. I'm going to have to get Dave or someone to do some solo episodes as well. Can I see it in here? Oh wait, what? I did miss someone's super chat, actually, didn't I? Via yourself a soda pop, dear child. Thank you for the help. You're very welcome, Spinach or Comrade. You're very welcome, mate. Epsilon, remember you accept bribes. I feel like my Mortagus Rocky teams could be good for this episode. God damn it. Right, let me finish what I was doing. Right, so we'll talk about that one there. If you could just tell me the changes in the chat, I'll quickly speak about them there, Mr. Untouchable. I'm just going to do this Jamie one here as well. I'm trying to get through stuff. How long have we been going for? We're going for an hour at the moment. Okay. Probably do an hour and a half. Usual 10-man squad, buffs, Mortarion, Typhus. Yep, Rhino. Cultists, big 6-man. That's going to go with Typhus. Okay. Bloat Drone. The Chungus himself, Triple Brigand. I mean, it's the same. Like, it's... What's different? So much different. What am I missing? Is it because Morty's in there? Because Morty's in there, yeah. So it's like the list I was playing at London with Mortarion. We've cut what we lost. We lost Plague Bus, and we lost a drone, I think, for it. Fundamentally, does it still work? Probably. I mean, the Brigand's still really good. I definitely want to get another unit of cultists in here. Again, the meta is changing to such an MSU heavy focus because of Prior Next and the focus on having to do missions. Like, you have 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 brick. Brigands you don't really want doing actions because they're so important to do shooty stuff, and 4 brick. So actual scoring units you've got 1, 2, 3. Potentially the Rhino. 4. It's not really great. I missed the Easter egg in your list. Oh no. No, what was it? Was it the name or something like that? Fuck's sake. Look what you've done, Epsilon. So, we've got... I instantly want to put some more scoring units in this, whether that be cultists. So my initial thought is instantly drop like Nurglings down. Drop Nurglings down. How many points have we got? Right, perfect 2k. Right, okay, that's a bit pain in the ass. what are we thinking? Because the way this worked in the list that I was running, I had, like I said, the Plague Boss, which gave me extra running on the 2 guys. And then I also had... Was it another third bloat drone? I think it was. Oh, memory. Yeah, it was a third bloat drone. Yeah, God, it's been a while. I only had 1 Nurgling unit as well. So I'd definitely be looking to try and cut back just because I want some more scoring units. But my God, that is hard to decide where to cut because Morty's just eating up so many points now. And I don't know if he works with it. You could technically drop Typhus, because again, in this one, Typhus is automatically locked to the Death Shroud Terminators. Like, he has to go with them. So what you could do is you could put Typhus down to a Terminator Sorcerer Lord, which feels bad, because Typhus is way better for 10 extra points. But then you could drop a unit of Nurglings, that would give you another unit of Cultists, which then gives you another unit that can do actions, because again, Nurglings can't do actions. The alternative being do the same thing, drop a bloat drone and turn it into 2 units of cultists, and then you got 3 10-mans of cultists, which is quite nice. But you've only got 1 bloat drone, which isn't doing too much at all there. See, this is the... When the changes happened, this is what I tried to do at first. I tried to get my London list and fit Morty in, and I couldn't get happy with it, no matter what I did. It was like, ugh. It was... Somewhat just irked me, so it wasn't enough units to be doing stuff, and that's the way I kind of feel. I kind of feel like if you're going to do the Mortarian Rotagus combo, I think you maybe look away from the Plague Marines, because it's so many points, and then you look into maybe like another 3-man Death Shroud with a character, because that's then only 200 points compared to like the 300 and whatever the bloody Plague Marines are, and then use the rest of the points for either another Bloat Drone and trash. I think that's probably the way you go with this. Or you just bring this other way you can do it is get rid of the characters here. Run these as 2 5-mans inside the rounds. That gives you MSU scoring. Use the points gained from these characters here to to put in something like cultists or like Chaos Spawn, anything like that. That way you keep your scoring. You do lose the fight first brick, which is obviously a little bit scary. But at the same time, like, you have a lot more flexibility on the board. And if you're playing Morty and Rotagus, they should be more aggressive because they need to absorb shots for your army, so your brigands can stage well, and then your Terminators can rapid ingress. That will... And then obviously you've got another 3-man Death Shroud potentially, or again, 2 5-mans. That should stop people being aggressive onto your objective, which means your fight first is probably less needed. I do agree, Don. I think Morty works better in, like, the... sort of like skew lots of vehicles lists, a bit aggressive there, but I mean he does well in a lot of different lists. Like, he is just cheap, depends how you use him, but I think that's where I'd go here. I think you're looking at getting maybe rid of the fight first brick, cutting it down into 5-man MSUs, or cutting it completely and getting another 3-man Death Shroud in there, and then just tons of more chaff. You just need stuff to be doing actions, to be scoring. It's going to let your Morty, Rotagus, Death Shroud and Brigands focus on doing what they need to do constantly, which is not worrying about actions. It needs to be shoot, kill, shoot, charge, kill, shoot, charge, kill. So that's where I think I'm going for that one there, bud. That would be my recommended change for this one, because again, I couldn't make this work by just putting in Morty straight into the London list. It just doesn't work that well. You have to make a big cut, and I think it's probably going to be the fight first Plague Marines for me there, man. Right, okay, bribers, you're all sons of bitches. You're all bastards, honestly. If Taiwan's watching right now and he's going to cry and we're very upset, I'll let my friends know you enforce my 11 cult. Oh. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's pretty funny, Comrade. Right, Epsilon, where is it? Are you gonna bribe me? How new is it? At least give me that. 'Cause I don't think I can even search in here for some. Epsilon. This one here? Got a teams tournament coming up? Is it this one? Oh, I scrolled from my chat. Thank you very much as well to Bendry for another bribe. Okay, we'll do yours after that. And then Don Houston, thank you. Mate, I have played TTS. I had a game with it earlier this week. I am starting to learn it with one of my friends against his Dark Angels and managed to get the win with a Morty list. So I've been practicing stuff out. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see me play TTS on stream, I can try that. No, it's fine. I've got time boundary. I can do it. It's more just the order of stuff, so I don't get too confused. But yeah, okay, this is the one. But yeah, if you guys are interested in like maybe me doing some TTS streams, I'm very clumsy at it, and I will throw. I don't kill my models. I just throw them off the table because it's funnier. So, and I don't play it super like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I rotate it to the perfect point, and we play more like by intent with my friends because we understand like it's clunky, it's not the best thing, but it is good. I've actually enjoyed it. It was more fun than I thought. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Morty, Typhus, Sorcerer Lord, 2x6 Death Shroud, 3x1 Blight Hauler, 3x1 Brigand, Ragus, Plague Bearers. That is that is a list. The 3x1 Blight Hauler sort of redeems this in terms of like actions. The Plague Bearers, I probably would honestly swap to Nurglings and then use the 60 points for like some cultists. But again, Plague Bearers aren't the worst thing. Again, they sit on home pretty well, and again, you need someone to sit on home here actually. So you know what? Yeah, fair enough. Because what else is going to sit on home? Now, what's your? Are you looking to be defensive or are you looking to be offensive? Because there are lists out there that would, if this was a single list, I'd tell you right now, probably I'd start from scratch. There are lists out there that are going to obliterate this in half a second. But again, teams, that's the great thing about teams, different lists work. If you can get this list into, because here's the thing, if you're looking to be put into infantry matchups with the Briggs, I'd swap them all for bloat drones with the Flamers, just because again, I think they're better for the infantry matchup. Blight Hole's not really too much, and again, you already know as one-man squads anyway, so you might as well like just go for the one that's got like the better anti-infantry stuff there, because then you've got all the Flamers and the Sorcerers, Morty, Brigands to back it up. You just make this really chunky wall in front. Even Plague Bearer Select, you can do cheeky stuff, and then the Brigands obviously bring some actual like heavy hitting firepower. So I would probably go for them. Defensive, very defensive now. If you're looking to blunt scores, I mean, I don't think this is probably a great blunt list. Blunt lists kind of want to just have tons of expendable crap, buy time, just send out colours, who cares if it dies, it scored me some actions and cool. I scored like 70 points, 75 points, you scored 100, whatever. That's a good blunt list. This is more like a checklist. So actually, I think you actually wanting to be paired into a good pairing here, because you get paired into some like orcs, they're going to have a horrendous time dealing with you, especially if they go to triple bloat drone or with like sprayers. I would not want to be an orc player in that in that game at all. That would not be fun for the orc player. So really, Epsilon, it kind of depends what you're expecting to be seeing, because if you go into any infantry heavy matchup, they might actually really struggle into you, especially with the Sorcerer Lord to give you that brawling power. The Brigands are just great for punishing people, but again, I think this is a list where I don't know if you start anything in reserves with the Death Shroud, or like this is a list where it's like, let's just go melee brawl. So I think in terms of like, if you get into a melee matchup, this could be quite good as well, because again, the Death Shroud turn is just to hit the brunt of it, and then they can just fall back and let the Brigands just go brrr and just kill it all. Bloat drones are great for that because they have fall back and shoot as well, so they can take a charge, you pop minus some damage to surprise someone like, oh, I didn't think you were going to press that. Then you fall back and then your Brigands go brrr again, or they can shoot as well because it's even better. But I mean, really, you just what this is, you want to sit on 3 objectives. That's all this is. You want to put you want to put a squad of Death Shroud on each objective, with a Rotigus or Morty with them, and then the Brigands shoot anything that's like trying to come around the sides or be like thingy or sneaky, and whilst the haulers / bloat drones, whatever you decide to take, are basically just going to run around and do actions. That to me is what this list is trying to do. My fear is if people catch on to it and then just focus down on killing the blight haulers and the drones, because then you've got nothing to do actions. But yeah, I get it for that. Again, against infantry, if you put this on, this is going to be hard to stop sitting on 2 points in the middle it's going to be quite difficult for someone to just stop it doing that. And doing that, even if you die, but if you've done it for like 2-3 turns, you're going to have a good enough score where even like a loss is not going to be high. But I do, like, naturally, because who I am, I don't do skills. I do thingy lists. I do like toolbox. Naturally, I do want to like get more chaffy scoring units in there, but I totally understand why you're not. Yeah, exactly. You're getting your primary. Like, the secondary is the iffy bit, and again, it just depends if you think your opponent's going to shoot the blight holes. Maybe that's why you go blight holes instead of blood runs, because you can actually hide them easier because they're smaller in stature. So I can understand that actually. But I mean, I would. It's 1995. God damn it, 1995. Are the plague bearers just for sitting on home, mate? Because if they are, no, because Nurglings again 40 point, you only get 60 points back. And then that has to then sit on home because Nurglings can't sit on home because they're not got any OC. And you can sticky it, obviously. I mean, I can see how it works. I'm not sitting here saying it doesn't work. Like you said, you sit on primary. You say, this is my primary. Piss off. And then your halls and stuff go and do actions. Yeah, I mean, it does what it does. In the late game, once the Death Shroud and Morty and stuff are dead, or like really low, you then just walk the Brigands onto the objective of OC8 and go, cool, I now hold this. Or at least deny you primary. I mean, if you manage to get a rapid ingress off of the Plague Bearers and steal a primary as well off them, so you hold them down a primary for a turn, then yeah, I can see this list being pretty gross. But it is very much like, this is your plan, I stick to it. So if that's what you want, and you're happy with that, then I can see you doing quite well. I'd want to try and get more scoring in there, but overall, Epsilon, for a teams list, because again, teams is such a different beast, such a weird thing. I can. If you are not struggling on secondaries, then that's all I can take your word from it. But if it's working for you, keep rocking it. My only genuine advice would be maybe just like put more chaff in. But if it's working for you, it's working for you at the end of the day. Play just because I've got no Nurglings right now. I can run right. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. Now don't be again. Plague Bearers, again, if you get no Deep Strike and no Uppy Downy, you can just stick home and leave it, and the Plague Bearers can, like, again, Deep Strike in Rapid Ingress, something like that, or just Deep Strike and try that 8-inch charge, and you can always reroll it for a command point. If you make it, you can maybe deny a primary, and that will really swing the game. But yeah, man, I think, you know what, it's fucking funny. Give it a shot, and actually, if the Blight Holes are doing actions for you, stick with it, because I imagine most of the bullets are probably going to go into this guy, and these guys, so you know what, your Blight Holes might be left alone long enough for them to just score some points for you. What a wild fucking list. The next one, what were we on to? So, Bendry. Where are you at, Bendry? You up or down from here? And also, is your name Bendry in the actual Discord? Bloody bribes. I'm so easily bought out. What can I say? We'll just quickly check on chat. Is Burn Down's like crazy, trying to keep him alive. Yeah, the chat for the defensive, very defensive, maybe video. Yeah, I can do it. I can do a video for Death Guards rolling teams. That's not a problem. I can do that. I can even get Epsilon to talk about that potentially, because Epsi does a lot of teams. It's probably I'm more of a singles player personally, but like we know people that play teams, and we can definitely get them on to chat. It's the 20th thing. So you have Bender. I can't just look at your name. Bender. This one then, Night Rampager, cool. Fever Tide, Core Pressure. Okay. So we have a holy shit, okay. We've got a Mortarian, we've got a Lord of Ruins, some Death Shroud Terminators to go with him, a 3-man. So if you're going to use, you know, Lord of Ruins is pretty good because you've got 3 Pagless Crawls here. I was going to debate potentially you dropping that to a Lord of Contagion just to make the Death Shroud Terminators really hit, but again, it's not the worst thing. 2 Malignant Playcasters and a Rhino, 2 Death Occultists, Fetid Bloat Drum with Fleshmower and Fletcher Drum with Spitters, and then you have 3 Plague Burst Crawls with Entropy Cannons, Beast of Nurglings, and a Night Rampager. Intent is to expose everything but the Beast ASAP, Nurglings and Cultists for screening, jail list, melee list, defending home if needed, Beast for secondaries. Okay. So, this is a fucking crazy pressure list. Now, when you play pressure lists, the one thing you don't want happening is your Plague Burst Crawls getting bogged down. So you might want to consider swapping them to Flamers. because that way they can, like, if I tag you with 10 cultists and you plague bus crawler, you can't shoot your mortar at me. You can only shoot your entry cans and your machine gun, and you're all -1 to hit. I'm pretty safe to keep you at least there for a turn. They got flamers on, it's a lot harder to stop you doing what you want to do. So I consider maybe the flamers on there, especially because, I mean, the rampage is going to go punch anything it goddamn sees. You've got some fetid bloat drones, some flesh mowers. I'd probably try and keep them to the same weapon, just to, again, make it a bit easier for you. Especially if you go flamers on the PBCs, you can put them both to flesh mowers, nothing wrong with that. Colours are basically there for screening. Beast and Noob can sit in your home. You could also do it as like you could also do it with Chaos Spawn, because they'll at least sticky it as well. Obviously, you can start something on your home and like sticky it. Okay, this is such a wild list. I love it. I would probably go for, again, a lot of runs. If it can see stuff, it does give the free plague bus crawlers the extra thing. What's gonna get shot? Okay, in terms of like what you expose the most, Mortarion exposes the most. PBCs expose a little harder. The Rampager is oddly the squishiest thing here, which is kind of wild to say. But the Rampager obviously can move through buildings now, has a once per game advance and charge. But when that connects, it really needs to be followed up by something. And I honestly think, what do we do here? I'm not sure the Plague Bus has a place in this list. It's a very fun unit, again, but I'm not sure, because the thing is, when all this comes in, you need a second wave to clap into anything that claps into this. So the Plague Bus could be swapped out for a Lord of Contagion and 3 more Death Shroud for me, because that can be your second wave. It can rapid ingress in. It can, it can basically be that second backup wave to follow it in. Once people are getting stuck into your Plague Bus crawls and charging them and stuff like that, you kind of need something else. Obviously, the Rampager might be good for that, but at the same time, like the Rampager and Mortarion might need to go and deal with tougher targets. So having some Death Shroud, which can obviously move through buildings a lot easier as well, I'd probably go with that over the Playcaster Rhino, because the Playcaster Rhino is really good, but the Playcaster Rhino is kind of at its best when it's being in a more all-rounder list. That kind of stuff can be dealt with by other things. But here, we need those points to be put into that second wave of pressure. You have a great first wave of pressure, but your second wave of pressure to keep the pressure on is only like a lot of runs and 3 Death Shroud. At least if you get a second unit in there, that pressure's a bit higher. People normally back this up with like the 10-man fights first thing, but obviously that's way more expensive. And that you won't be able to get that in there because of the Rampager. Now, that said, you could also potentially drop like a PBC down and then get like a bloat drone in for 3 bloat drone, 2 PBC, and then use those points to maybe get, like, again, with the Rhino, with the Playcasters gone, maybe look at upgrading Summit. Like, what can we get there? Because it's 65, 130, 205, plus the 90 you would gain from that would be 295. That would be 200 points for a lot of runs and thingy. But yeah, you can't get a 3rd play, but you can't get a 4th bloat drone. Could drop the Beast of Nurgle, that'll give you 70 points into that, which would give you 160. So you got 2 Plague Bus Crawlers, 3 bloat drones, drop the Plague Caster Bus completely, get a second unit of Death Shroud and a character, and then the spare points could be used with 160 points spare there. You could go with, you could just turn one of your squads into a 6-man. That'd be pretty good, and then like another unit of cultists. That might be quite good. I mean, most people would probably recommend like a Carnivores instead of the Rampager, but again, if you want to play a Rampager, I'll play a Rampager. Like, hell yeah, let's rock a Rampager. Yeah, I'd probably go for that. So I think I would do that first. So that'd be the first change. Would be drop the Playcaster Bus, put in a Lord of Contagion, second unit of Death Shroud. That's your second wave now. That's your second wave committing. After that, I'd personally be looking at like dropping the PBC, dropping the Beast of Nurgle. That'd be 250 then on the old calculator. Is it 252, 245 because the Beast of Nurgle went down to 65, I think it was. And that there can turn into your 3rd bloat drone, which would then leave you on 135. which could then get you again into either like a 6-man squad on one of those Death Shroud Terminators, which is quite nice. But you are losing a Beast of Nurgle and then maybe some like. Yeah, I get what you mean there. That'll be right. So just go with the first change for now. Build that second wave up. So go with a lot of Contagion. Go with the 3 Death Shroud Terminators instead of the Plague Bus. Plague Bus is really good, but it's not really for this list, in my opinion. So I'd go with a second 3-man, lot of Contagion. Oh, sorry, or even Typhus. Like put Typhus in there. Typhus is also great. Either one of them, probably Typhus. Just because having access to the mortal wounds can just deal with so many like annoying problems as well. But yeah, go for that. See how that goes. I don't love using chaff like Cultists. I use Proxbox the Cultists, but I don't see much else. Yeah, the problem is the Nervlings can't do the role of Cultists because they can't do actions, which is really annoying. So yeah, that's the initial change I think I'd make for this one, mate. Is just cut the Plague Bus out, shove another 3 Death Shroud in, either Typhus Lord or Contagion with them. There's your second wave of aggression. So you get your first wave with Morty, the Rampager, the PBCs. The Rampager might actually want to be in the second wave. So like Morty, the Bloat Drones and the Entropy, the PBCs is like your first wave. And then after that, then the Rampager comes in at the same time. The Death Shrouds both drop. Your Rapid Ingress 1, just bring in another, take a 9-inch charge, whatever. Probably with the Lord of Virulence 1, bring in at 9. Because again, that one can still contribute with Flamers. And also just spotting targets. And then yeah, just try and overwhelm your opponent from there. I think that's probably what we go with that one, Bendry. Hope that's okay for you, mate. But that's the first change I'd make. And again, just a quick reminder to anyone that's watching, if you do like the content we do here, please leave a like and a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It is way more helpful to the channel than you think. It really lets YouTube know to push it. And as you can see, it's been doing work because we've gone up 300 subscribers in like the last like 2 weeks. So, you know, well done to chat there and everyone. Well done to everyone because again, clicking that little button lets YouTube know, and then YouTube say, oh, this channel's doing well, let's promote them, see a lot of people, so, you know, spread the word of Nurgle. And yeah, roly-poly, if you could just scroll down one there. I'm probably, I forgot, I have to go back to the top, unfortunately, Mr. Roly-poly, because I have to keep it fair, unfortunately, even though I've just taken 2 complete bribes, which I know sounds a bit ironic. So we got Tallyman, Dagnarius, and Cass. I will probably put in another Plague Surgery stream this week because we are needing to catch up on quite a lot of these buggers here because you guys just submit so many lists, which again, not against. I'm happy, I'm glad, but it is a lot. So we'll do this one as a quick last one here. So, don't worry, we'll get to you next, probably next episode, Roly-poly. So, Lord of Contagion, Deadly Path, Lord of Virulence, Typhus, so cool, 3 Terminators, no Morty, like that. It's pretty good signs. Oh, it's the 18, okay, the 18. Death Cultists, the 18. Triple Bloat Drone, Rotagus Triple Brigand. Yeah, I mean, so, first things first, these guys, 1 unit starts off the board, the other 2 have to start on the board, you don't want to get sweep striked out. And look, are we up to, oh my god, 10 out of 22. Oh my god, there's so many. Jesus. So, I mean, look, the 18 Death Shroud list is what it is. It's a skew. It's a skew. Now, my straight up problem here is there is not enough action-y stuff. I really want to cut like a Bloat Drone straight away. And get some action in again. But again, 90 points does not translate and you're bang on 2k, so that doesn't go well there, which is very annoying. Which then actually makes you want to drop this enhancement in. Now, Lord of Virulence, pretty good. Oh, you got all 6-mans, you don't... Right, Lord of Contagion can probably go away. He can probably go into a Terminator Sorcerer Lord, because again, 6-mans tend to kill. Tend to kill most things they touch anyway. So I'd actually go this into a Terminator Sorcerer Lord. That'll save you 25 points, which then drop a Bloat Drone, get 2 units of Cultists in. That list is instantly way improved because now we have a lot more units to do actions with, which means that these guys can focus on what they want to do, which is stat check someone. They want to walk onto objectives, stat check them, and when things come to answer it, you have the answers with these guys, and Rotagus can also help out. Now, we are having, again, we'll be on talk about his experience with 18 Terminators tomorrow. So will Dave. And we've also got Garrett Stacey I'm trying to get on, who's also been running a tournament. So we'll have more information to do with 18 Terminators here. But, like, there's not much to change here. Again, that small change there, actually, and then drop a bloat drone, makes this a lot better. That's the one change I could just instantly recommend for this list. Part of that, it's got everything that's basically pretty good at the moment. It's got all the solid aspects. You've got a really nice little solid firebase back here. You'll have at least 3 units of cultists for scoring and 2 bloat drones for scoring. So that gives you at least 5 there. And the rest of it is Death Shroud Terminators. And it's going to be all about how well you can use these guys and not run into armies that can pick them up. And if you do run into armies that can pick them up, you need to be aware that your Brigands are your saving grace. So you might need to put one of these in strat reserves, things like that. So yeah, there's not too much to talk about because it is what it is on its face. Just be really careful of getting blocked in. You don't want to get move blocked. So again, the cultists might need to be, if you're against an army that can move block you, the cultists need to be scouting forward to prevent that. Because you don't want to get stuck on a 4-inch move unit. There's no more in this list, which is somewhat kind of like... these guys tend to work well with Morty, but at the same time you do have Rotagus down here. I think if you could swap this out, you don't need the Nurglings. I would find 30 points, and I would try and probably change Rotagus to Mortarian, because he just works a lot better in this list as well. So like you could go... Again, he goes down to 70, there's 25 right there. There's 25 there, which makes me like so close to Morty. But again, that's I'll leave that one to you to try and figure out there. But if you can potentially get Morty in, that wouldn't be a bad shout. Rogs is fine, don't get me wrong. He's still a T12 4-pin vulnerable bugger, but with the 18 Death Shroud, Morty goes really, really well from what we've seen. Okie dokie. Right, tick that one off. Boom. Right, I'm gonna probably stop here for now because my voice is getting a bit tired of talking for an hour and a half straight, and I'm obviously a little tired for a day of work and whatnot. But we will do another one later this week. We'll have a quick chat with the chat. Oh, my list is near the bottom. I forgot to say no bribe. It'll take 1 minute. Let's have a look. It'll take 1 minute. This one, bruh. A lot of reals. Typhus, 2 Chaos Spawn, Cultists. Yeah, I mean, take all the lessons I just said then. Take all the points I just said then, Christopher, Mr. Strong Boy. Apply them the same. You got the 18 Death Shroud. I do like yours. You got all these scoring units, which I do like a bit more. You don't have the Brigands to back it up, but you have a lot more scoring potential, which I do actually quite like. And I think that's more important. Again, we saw Garrett do the same thing. He had his 18 Death Shroud Morty, and the rest of it was just scoring 5-man. So I actually really like that. So, I mean, and you got the big fat boy in here as well. So, and a Soul Grinder, because rapid ingressing Soul Grinders is fucking hilarious because you can do that. So just be aware of that. So yeah, everything I just said, apply it here. Again, I'd still probably swap Lord of Contagion for a Terminator Sorcerer Lord just for the -1 damage. Because you can have 2 squads at -1 damage in a turn, because you obviously spend command points on one, 2 up on him to have the other one. I think that's probably... Yeah, I do think LOV, Typhus, and Terminator Sorcerer is probably the most like versatile package of characters, even though I love Lord of Contagion. But I love Lord of Contagion in 3-mans. But, I mean... Yeah, I mean, Strong Boy, it's going to do what it's going to do. You've got plenty of scoring units. You're going to sit there, bully your opponents with some Death Shroud Terminators. Oh, you only got 2 squads, actually. You know, I was worried you got so... I was like, Jesus Christ, got so much stuff. I mean, yeah, still works, though. Just means Typhus can go solo. I still think it works perfectly fine. You've got 2 real tough units with Morty and Rotagus. You've got the brick. Oh, that's what you've changed out a brick for Morty. Yeah, you know what? I like that. You're doing the same thing though. You are sitting on objective saying, I am tough, try and deal with me, while the rest of my list scores. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's a good archetype, and it's a good way to play Pariah Nexus at the moment, because points mean prizes in Pariah, and actions mean prizes. So we really, really do need that stuff. So yeah, I don't think there's anything I'd change with that. Again, just like I said, Lord of Contagion, Terminator Sorcerer Lord, and that's about it, really. I do like the rest of it. The Soul Grind's obviously a bit memey, but it's a crab. And one thing with... If you're going to cause miserable, yeah, like 4-pin vulnerable on a Soul Grinder, 4-pin vulnerable on Rotagus, everything's basically got an invulnerable, so AP just doesn't matter. Like, People are going to be upset, I'll tell you that for sure. But yeah, so I'm probably leave it here for now, guys. So I'll obviously play some tunes for you guys as I go off. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys do enjoy it, and thank you so much for tuning into another Plague Surgery. Like I said, there's, check out the little merch store we have and stuff like that. Again, if you are debating becoming a member, consider it. It's only, I think it is £3 a month. It's like a coffee. So if you can spare a coffee a month, then throw it to your boy. And you get access to our Discord, you get access to all the things you have left there, you get access to the music. We have a really cool active Discord. Everyone's super helpful. You can see the people in yellow here are people that contribute quite a lot, and we call them our community champions. So we've got Zito, Don Houston, and Strongboy here. Yeah, Don's in here. People know Don. I'm going to market myself with Don. Don Houston's in here. He's quite helpful. People playing gaming as well. We also have the best channel ever. We have the pets channel, of course. Everyone loves pets. There's my boy. There's my doggo on the left there. The best boy. But everyone's got obviously their pooches and they're all super cute. That's the best channel. We have the cheese channel because I hate cheese. I despise it, so people just post pictures of cheese to bully me. We have people, new players coming in, talking about it. We have painting channels and hobby channels. We have the 1 hour a night challenge where you set yourself a challenge to paint for X amount of days, at least 1 hour a night. So that's really cool to join in, just to be like little ways to motivate ourselves to go ahead. And we have obviously, so you can enter your photos to be used in videos as well. And I will happily use your content is my content. I like to steal it, so it's mine. But you put it in there, you can get featured in videos. Part of that, we're always talking about stuff and having a good time as well. And obviously, we've got the Plague Surgery and things like that. And we have some giveaways as well, which I'm going to put this week. We have a new giveaway this week. I will put one up. I've just been very busy with stuff. But for now, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I will leave you guys with some tunes. I'm going to put the headset on just so I can make sure they are playing correctly. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I will see you all on the next episode. Stay rotten, everybody, and I will catch you all very soon. So take care and bye bye. Where's the button? I've lost the button, boys.
From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin and pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Noodle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains, just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. And neath the warp the souls are bound, to spread decay, to break the ground. Noble's gifts a putrid stain, a future where only disease remains. blood will burn, the pure will fall. Mortaria's wrath will consume them all. Ultimately by crumbled in the dust, your emperor's light can't stop the rust. Disease and rot by your final breath, now kneel before the reaper's death. I am the plague, I am the rot, the end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies, now your shiny world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair, your warrior choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries, Mortaria's blade, watch its glory dies. The reaper falls to a runner's sword, in death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand, my crown is buried by my hand. Blue and gold, once proud, once bright, now swallowed whole by endless night. I am decay, and I will feast, your chapter falls beneath my feet. Gleaming suns will face my wrath, in every breath your lungs turn black. Your noble heart I turn to ash in my shadow, your hopes will crack. I am the plague, I am the rot, the end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies, now your shiny world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair, your warrior choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries, Mortaria's blade, watch its glory dies. The angel falls, your runner's sword, in death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand, my crown is buried by my hand. Comrade, what's the truth of the stars? Now lies broken, tainted with my scars. I am your doom, your final breath, Mortaria comes, delivering death. From the skies I bring despair, your warrior choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries, Mortaria's blade, watch its glory dies. The angel falls, your runner's sword, in death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand, my crown is buried by my hand. Buried by my hand. You fall, you fall, my crown is buried by my hand. In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nobles rot I lay worlds to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth, I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand. Rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Plague with howl, the gassing walls. Vigilant tides, new life is born. Miracles passing, a twisted grace. I embrace your heart in my golden embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am Typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead.